In the week leading up to Easter, a time rich with symbolism, silence, and sacred renewal, the Vatican has seen a series of encounters that transcend protocol and cut to the spiritual quick. Pope Francis, still recovering from this harrowing bout of double pneumonia, surprised both pilgrims and princes with unannounced appearances, stripped of fanfare, clad not in his formal robes, but in the humility of illness and resolve. The most high profile of these was a private meeting with King Charles III and Queen Camilla on April the 9th, and the timing was almost allegorical. The couple were in Rome to mark their 20th wedding anniversary, and the Pope, just returned from 5 weeks in hospital, had only recently resumed receiving visitors. This wasn't a formal state visit that was initially planned, with choirs echoing in the Sistine Chapel and ecological speeches at the heart of it. That elaborate programme has been shelved in deference to illness, and what remained was something more intimate, more human. And the meeting, hastily confirmed only that morning, lasted 20 minutes. No grand papal throne, no pageantry, only a seated Pope, smiling, fragile, but evidently pleased to greet the royal pair. Charles brought a red gift box. Camilla curtsied. The Pope offered his blessing and reciprocated the King's wishes for good health. Photos released showed not an icon of religious power, but a man recovering, nasal tubes absent, striped blanket around his shoulders, a flicker of mischief still evident in his eyes. It was a moment of quiet diplomacy, a nod to shared commitments to peace, to the environment, and perhaps to the burdens of age and office. Both men, incidentally, have faced hospitalization in the past month. Both carry global responsibilities while confronting their mortality. But beyond the royal meeting, the most compelling moments came not with kings, but with ordinary people. Yesterday, the Pope was spotted again, this time in St. Peter's Basilica, drifting through like a silent pilgrim. He prayed at the tomb of St. Pius X, a saint to whom he has long held private devotion. No official address, no press announcement, just the pontiff in black trousers and a white shirt, seated in a wheelchair, a striped shawl cloaking his shoulders, a nasal oxygen tube discreetly visible, and yet the word spread like gospel in the square. Workmen halted their restoration. Pilgrims gathered with reverent astonishment. Children stepped forward, some shy, some bold, to receive a blessing. The Pope said little, but his gestures spoke volumes. Hands extended in blessing, nods of acknowledgement, eyes closed in prayer. These scenes recall the early days of his papacy, when Francis deliberately eschewed the apostolic palace in favour of the Casa Santa Marta, wishing to remain closer to the people, a shepherd, not a sovereign. In those post-illness appearances, we're witnessing something deeply theological, even performative, even theatrical in the truest sense of liturgical meaning. The Pope is not just recovering, he's embodying vulnerability. He is present in frailty, not despite of frailty. This too is leadership. His unscheduled outings coincide with the Jubilee of the Sick, a moment when the Church focuses on illness, on care, on solidarity with the suffering. What better testimony to that mission than a Pope who appears not triumphant but wounded, still fighting infection, still fatigued but blessing, embracing, appearing. The contrast could not be starker. Outside, cameras track Prince Harry in court, contesting his security detail. Inside the Vatican, a frail Pope offers silent benedictions to pilgrims who stumbled across him by chance. These encounters, planned or spontaneous, serve as a quiet homily, a reminder that in the eyes of the faithful, the Pope is more powerful, not when adorned, but when stripped of ceremonial armour. Whether greeting monarchs or greeting children at the tomb of a saint, he shows the world that presence, true presence, needs no choreography. In the coming holy year of 2025, as this year develops, themed Pilgrims of Hope, such gestures may well become the defining mode of papal communication, soft-footed, symbolic, quietly immense. It's fitting, then, that Francis, now 88, re-emerges not as a herald but as a fellow traveller, stopping to rest, to pray, to greet, to endure, a pilgrim among pilgrims, a shepherd still walking, however slowly, towards Easter.